Hello everybody, this is Tanupriya Singh, PGT Economics from AECS Jaduguda. Today we are here for an in-house training and the topic for the training today is classroom management. Classroom management, a very common topic in every teacher's life. What is it? It is a term used by teachers to describe the process of ensuring that classroom runs smoothly despite of disruptive behavior by the student. So there should be a smooth running of classroom despite of disruptive behaviors by the students. Here the term also implies the preventions of disruptive behavior. It is possibly the most difficult aspect of teaching of many teachers. Okay, the teachers might be very good in teaching, might be very expert in their subjects, but it sometimes becomes very difficult for the teachers to have a very good classroom management. Classroom management is a vital for successful teaching. A positive classroom management establishes a favorable condition that permits effective teaching learning strategy. Okay, so if there is a positive classroom management, it will automatically establish a condition which is very favorable that permits effective teaching learning strategies. But yes, although the factors that affect the classrooms are beyond the teacher's control sometimes. A good teacher should overcome handicaps by effective planning and judicious directions that promotes a good atmosphere for learning. Yes, it is very important for a very good classroom management that there should be a prior planning and judicious directions that promotes a good atmosphere for teaching and learning process. So we can see in the picture what does a good classroom management includes. It includes homework. It also includes certain rules and regulations that to be followed. Rewards, but very obvious. Transitions, grading, discipline, one of the very important point, and classroom jobs or class jobs. So if all these things are followed properly, definitely there will be a very good classroom management and the teacher would be able to teach its class properly and implement a proper classroom management. Classroom management refers to certain things. Let's start with the first one. Creating a safe and inclusive environment for student learning. It facilitates building a strong and a very positive relationship with and among the learners. That shows if there is a good classroom management, there would be a very positive relationship between the students and the teachers as well as among the learners. A strong classroom management paves way to understand the unique adolescent body and mindset. If there is a strong classroom management, a teacher would be able to understand its students' mindset, what the student is feeling, what is the student thinking about. A good classroom fosters good understanding of multicultural and individual differences within the classroom. So we know as a hand is having 5 fingers of different heights, like same way there are different kinds of students with different mindset, with different cultural background, with different individual differences. So if a good classroom is there, it will foster a good understanding of this multicultural things. A well-managed classroom promotes a love for learning and success. So it presents engaging the instructions to the learners as well. A well-managed classroom is consistent and fair for discipline. As we already mentioned in the picture above, that a good classroom includes discipline. So here it is very well mentioned that a well-managed classroom is a consistent only when there is a fair space for discipline. It has well-practiced routines and procedures to promote teaching and learning. A good classroom states simple and clear expectations for rules to be followed. Yes, there are certain rules and regulations which each and individual teacher makes in their classroom, and if it is followed properly, definitely the classroom will be having a better way of teaching learning experience. Okay, so it stages appropriate interventions to be undertaken for the students. So you can see there are 7 steps decision making. So whenever a teacher is making a decision, there are certain step he should think of. Then only he can go for making proper rules for classroom management. What is the first thing is identifying the decision. Okay, clear understanding the decision we need to make, the impact it would have, and the intended objective. Second is he or she should first gather information, gather together all relevant data that can help you make an informed decision. Third is identify alternatives, start brainstorming and listing all the possible solutions, and then evaluate the validity of each options. Fourth is consider the evidence. Okay, whatever evidence we have. Okay, now carefully consider all of those and do it, analyze each one. Fifth point is choose the best option. Okay, after evaluating, after finding out all the evidence, now it's time to choose the best option. Now it's time to choose the best option from the solution you have listed above. Sixth and important point is time for action. Make a detailed plan to action and the decisions, including such things as resource and fully planning. Okay, and the last one is reviewing. After the decision has been taken or actioned, review outcomes and learn from any mistake. So we should see that we have not made any mistake, and in case we have made it, we should learn from it and rectify it. Now comes what is the need for classroom management. Why do we need classroom management? Classroom management is crucial in classrooms because it supports the proper execution of curriculum development. So we have certain things in our curriculum, and in order to implement it properly, there should be proper classroom management. Classroom management is closely linked to issues of, very important point, motivation. The second thing is discipline and respect. A large part of traditional classroom management, which the ancestor was continued, involved a behavior modification. Okay, teachers used to work on modification of certain behavior of the students. Further, we can see there are certain techniques which are used in order to have better classroom management. The very first one is corporal punishment, which is now it's illegal. We'll come to this point later. Then comes is rote discipline, then is preventive techniques, and the last one is good teacher-student relationship. We will start with the first one, that is corporal punishment. Until recently, corporal punishment was widely used as a means of controlling disruptive behavior, but now it is illegal in almost all the schools. It is still advocated in some of the contexts by ultra-religious people such as James Dobson. Okay, but moreover in India it is widely illegal activities, and we are not allowed, teachers are not allowed to go for corporal punishment. Here corporal punishment may be including like any kind of physical punishment. Then is rote discipline. It involves assigning a disorderly student sentence or the classroom rules to write repeatedly. Okay, among the many types of classroom management approaches, it is commonly used. Then comes is preventive approach. Now what is this preventive approach? Preventive approaches to classroom management involves creating a positive classroom community, okay, with mutual respect between teachers and students. Okay, teachers using the preventive approach offer warmth and acceptance and support unconditionally. Okay, Preventive techniques also involves the strategy use of praise. Okay, sometimes we should go for praising students and reward to inform students about their behavior rather than a means of controlling student behavior. Okay, so sometimes we should go for praising when the student is doing something good and rather also reward them. Okay, next is a flow chart, includes certain important points which are under classroom management. We'll start with the first one. It is it, it should have create a classroom rules with your students on day one. Okay, maintain the classroom rules, routines and schedules, but yes, maintain flexible and leave rooms for fun. Okay, there should be certain kind of flexibility as well. It should not be very strict rules and regulations. When students are engaged and excited about learning, less management problem arises. Okay, we should teach in such a way that students should get more excited in the side of learning. Then obviously there should be less need of classroom management and less management problems arises. Third key rules is use your inside voice, wait your turn and raise hand. Always have a plan backup. Get the student involved, help them take part in deciding or designing and smooth running of the classroom. Let us have a proper participation of students as well. Okay, it's not only you that you have to decide everything. Let us take decisions and advices from the student side also. Create an atmosphere of respect in which the children feel safe and valuable and want to sometimes take risk even. Be aware of all of student resources or school resources. Do not ignore any negative behavior. Once a student is behaving something negative, it's not like go for physical punishment. Rather consult him or tackle in a different way. Create a daily routine or diaries or a daily duty routines. Okay, so here we can see there are certain 8 points which we follow properly. We could easily have a very good classroom management. A good teacher-student relationship is the next very important point. A good teacher-student relationship is the classroom in the classroom involves appropriate level of dominance, cooperations and awareness of high needs of students. Assertive teaching behavior also reassures that thoughts and messages are being passed on to the students in a very effective way. Assertive behaviors can be achieved by using erect posture, appropriate tone of voice depending on the current situation, and taking care not to ignore inappropriate behavior by taking actions. So you can see a flowchart over here. There is a classroom management and tips for school counselor or teacher which we should follow. First is over plan for your lesson. Use visual clues. Don't use a clip chart ever. Quiet your voices. Assign student different jobs. So under this we have integrate lot of movements and funds. Invite students to claim ownership over the rules. Communicate with the non-verbal clues. Use consistent procedures and routines. Bring along a portable calm corner. Don't take things personally. Okay, this is something important. Be flexible with your classes. As I already said, we should not be very rigid on rules and regulation. We should be up to a level. We should be flexible even. Teachers and teach and practice self-regulating techniques. Incorporate interactive activities and also connect before hopefully not having to correct. Okay, so these are some of the important points. Now we'll come to the next topic, that is systematic approach to classroom management. What is it? This includes culturally responsive classroom management, a good behavior game, positive classrooms, assertive disciplines, and discipline without stress, punishment or reward. Okay. Process approaches to classroom management. The goal is to, what is our goal? The first and the very foremost important thing is develop caring and supportive relationship with and among the students. So there should be a very good relationship between teacher and student. It is not like we teachers are here to teach only. We should have a caring and supportive relationship with the students and students among themselves even. Organize and implement instructions in way that optimizes students' access to learning. Okay, we should time and again instruct the students so that they could be more inclined towards learning. Okay, use group management method that encourages students engagement in academic tasks and also promote the development of students social skill and self regulation. So we should, there's something new that is included here is that there should be time and again group management methods. Okay, students should be involved into group activities so that they should learn how to be some kind of social skills and self regulation as well. Use appropriate interventions to assist students with behavior problems. Okay. The task of classroom management according to Tracy includes organizing the physical environment. Second is establishing rules and routines. Third is developing caring relationship. Fourth is implementing engaging instructions. And the fifth important point is preventing and responding to discipline problems. The next one is what is time management. Kochek and again, that is in 2008 and again in 2008 again, categorizes classes into 4 categories as follows. The 4 overlapping categories are allocated time, the second is instructional time, the third one is engaged time, and the fourth one is academic learning time. So before we jump into those, let us see a flow chart here. What does it include? So we have 16 time management tips for students. Okay, create a schedule, make time for yourself, get yourself in a routine, write down goals. So this includes certain important points. These are having a schedule breaks, avoid procrastination, stick to your own plans, allow time for fun activities, make a to-do list, study in regular pattern, work when you are at your best, exercise to relieve stress, reward yourself when you are completing something, keep stress to a minimum, work a set number of hours a day. That should be pre-planned obviously, and don't panic if you fell behind. So with this are the certain important 16 management tips for students, we can say. Now moving to the first category of time management, it is allocated time. What does this allocated time means? Allocated time is the total time allocated for teaching, learning and routine classroom procedures like attendance. Then comes what is instructional time. Instructional time is what remains after routine classroom procedures are completed. That is, instructional time is the time wherein teaching and learning actually takes place. Third kind of time here management is engaged time. Engaged time is also called as time on task. During engaged time, students participate actively in learning activities like asking and responding to questions, completing worksheets, exercising, preparing skits, etc. Next is what is academic learning time. This is the last and the most important one. Academic learning time occurs when students participate actively. Second, are successful in learning activities. Effective classroom management maximizes academic learning time. Then comes what are the common mistakes. The very common mistakes which we come across is two students with similar looking misbehavior may require entirely different intervention strategies. Yes, sometimes when two of the students are doing the same mistake, as we as a teacher punish them in the same way, but sometimes we should go into depth and see what are the reasons behind. Okay, so sometimes the two students with a similar looking behavior may require entirely different intervention strategies. Not every approach work for each child. Teachers need to learn to be flexible. As I said already, there should be little flexibility. Another common mistake is for the teachers is to become increasingly frustrated. Okay, so nowadays every teacher is now they get easily frustrated and negative when an approach is not working. The teacher may raise his or her voice or increase adverse consequences in an effort to make the approach work. This may impair teacher-student relationship. Inconsistency in expectation and consequences is an additional mistake that can deficiency the classroom. To avoid this, teachers should communicate expectations to students clearly be sufficiently. Ignoring and approving is an effective classroom management strategy. Yes, there are two words, ignoring, and the other one is approving. This involves ignoring students when they behave undesirably and approving their behavior when it is desirable. When students are praised for their good behavior, I repeated, when students are praised for their good behavior but ignored for their bad behavior, this may increase the frequency of good behavior and decrease bad behavior. Because we all know the students are attention seekers. So in order to attract others, they go on doing something so that they can attract the other teachers, okay, and students as well. So sometimes we should ignore the bad behaviors and give more attention to the good behaviors. This will increase their good behaviors consistency in comparison to the bad behaviors. Students' behavior may be maintained by attention. As I said, we should ignore sometimes. If students have a history of getting attentions after misbehavior, they may continue this behavior as long as it continues to get attention. If students' misbehavior is ignored, a good behavior result in attention, and students may instead behavior appropriately to acquire attentions. Therefore, principle and concepts like behavior management, behavior engineering, child development and child psychology are to be optimally used for effectively managing the classroom. So with this, we have a flowchart at the end stating managing a good classroom by different ways. There are 27 ideas about it, how to manage a classroom. So this includes lead, demonstrate, signal, team up, learn, reward, break, meditate, back up, practice, play, write, observe, listen, motivate, sometimes make videos, pause, escape, engage, switch, communicate, ask, watch, show, group activities, quiz and expect. With this, we end to this training. Thank you and have a nice day.